What is happening, my friends? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, pop culture, sports, or the latest buzz, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Welcome to another great edition of the Arrington Gavin Show, coming to you with new episodes weeknights. All right, weeknights available on all platforms. Wherever you get your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. You can check us out on the streaming services of YouTube. Our YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Media, as well as Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. Do me a favor, my friends. Be sure to subscribe to those platforms if you are a subscriber of any of those two. And also follow us on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, and follow me on my personal page at Arrington Gavin. So my name is very simple. Also, you can tune into this program Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. on our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM, Straight Talk out of Dallas, Georgia, as well as online to WDJYFM.com. Look, my friends, we have a great show for you in store for this hour. Going to impact a lot. And yeah, I hope you're ready to join the conversation. I hope you all are having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. And yeah, it's just so much to unpack. We're gonna be speaking on the NFL recap of week one. So many stories had occurred. Let me tell you something. A lot of turn of events had happened before the game even started. You hear me? So we're gonna talk about that on the show, as well as I will bring on Arrington's movie review, because I've checked out, because I love movies, I love content, I love movies, shows, documentary movies as well, docu-series, you name it. And I always like to just give you um some new stuff to check out, because one thing I always ask my friends and family, I'm like, look, what is there to watch? What any good recommendations, man? Because we are in a content crazy streaming service conglomerate right now. Not a lot of people really go to the movies anymore. My wife and I do. We love, it's like the culture of it, right? Getting your ticket, grabbing popcorn and candy, and just kicking back on the recliner and watching a good movie. Now I will say, I'm getting tired of these long ass previews. I will say that. These previews take almost the length of a movie, and I'm like, well, you know what, I'm out. I'm tired. That's why why you see like Netflix, Peacock, all the streaming services are more popular, because it's like, hey, look, I can watch this in the sake of my home. You have the option, depending on what level you want to pay, if you want to do ad free, or if you want to check out some ads, that is up to you. Um, but we're gonna do an Arrington's movie review, as well as talk some politics and sports, and we're just gonna keep you up to speed on what's happening in our world. Look, um, what should I start with first? It's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so much. Uh, Hope you all are having a great day. Hope you have been tuning into what's going on as far as during this presidential race. So many new things has been added to the storyline of the presidential race between current Vice President Kamala Harris and former President of the United States Donald J. Trump. Some new key endorsements as well. New conversations getting added to the mix. I tell you, it is a headache when you have to when you always have to defend like why you should at least lean towards this candidate, or why you should even vote. You don't know how many times I've encountered people that are really fans of the couch, and they're like, look, I'm going to choose the couch rather than even vote. Like, I'm just, that's just not me. That's not, I can't do that, y'all. I can't do that. Here on the show, we're going to be impacting and talking about some new stories to add to this timeline. And of course, we're going to have our fun fact of the day, because we love doing that. We always like to keep you intrigued, keep you like, oh, I didn't know that. You learn something every day, and we hope to give that to you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. The Arrington Gavin Show, by the way, is an independent, unbiased platform. We're grassroots. We're growing every single day. What to think of you all, the listeners and the viewers. Couldn't do this without you, so I truly appreciate that. And keep on sharing, keep on following, keep on liking, leaving us a comment. We truly appreciate it because we want to keep on giving you that great content, that upfront, uh, 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 real, just that real conversation, right? That real stuff that you won't get from any other outlet, any other platform, especially mainstream media. Let's be honest, mainstream media is agenda based. Regardless if you are a Fox News fan, regardless if you are a CNN fan or MSNBC fan, I'm an advocate of News Nation. I enjoy it. I see the unbiased, but sometimes you still got to be careful on that because being that they're corporate owned, they're still gonna they're gonna let you, they want you to listen to what they think, right? Not even they think. They want you to listen to what their partners, their sponsors are telling them. Oh no, we got to keep some more of that. We can't. Oh, you stepping the line, my friend. You stepped the line. So I'm grateful the fact that having this independent platform, even I want to thank our radio affiliate WDJY that is giving us the opportunity to spread the word and spread our narrative and using their radio waves. I mean, come on, we can't do it alone. We need the access and the capabilities of spreading the word to all listeners around the world. And we thank WDJY FM for trusting us with that as well. So before we move forward, I always have to acknowledge some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like Rugged Evolution Beard Care. That's right, Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Rugged is the new smooth. Rugged Evolution Beard Care offers 17 scented beard balms, beard oils, conditioning shampoo, you name it, everything you need to help enhance and maintain a healthy upkeep and well put together beard. Not even just beard, but facial hair in general. Mustache, goatee, you name it. They have everything you need to help take care of your facial hair. Okay. It helps take care of the skin underneath the facial hair as well. They've been featured on multiple publications, magazine publications as well. And they are a very, very, very great company. For more information about Rugged Evolution Beard Care, go to www.ruggedevo.com. Okay, that's ruggedevo.com. We thank them so much for their proud support of the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, my friends, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. So don't go anywhere, and do me a favor, do not change that dial. We'll have more here on the Arrington Gavin Show.
You know, just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be legendary.
All right, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Look, let's get it going with our fun fact of the day. I always look forward to sharing this with you all. Did you guys know that M&M stands for Mars and Murray? That's right. The famous M&M candy, right? I don't know if you like M&Ms. I love M&Ms, but M&Ms with peanuts. Only the ones with peanuts. My wife, she's allergic to nuts, so she always gets just the regular milk chocolate, M&Ms. They're not like I don't mind them, but ain't nothing like the M&Ms with peanuts, man. But it's very true. It stands for Mars and Murray. So it says here that Forrest Mars, son of the Mars Company founder, first spotted the British confection Smarties during the Spanish Civil War and noticed the candy shell prevented the chocolate from melting. He teamed up with Bruce Murray, son of Hershey Chocolate's president, and the company later trademarked the melts in your mouth, not in your hand slogan. You learn something every day. You learn something every day. That was your fun fact of the day, brought to you by the Arrington Gavin Show. All right, next up, we're going to move on to another favorite segment I call Arrington's Movie Review. Okay, Arrington's Movie Review. So, with Arrington's Movie Review, I always like to share a recent film that I'm like, okay, I think the listeners should check this out, right? Because I will say I have been pretty critical with the new age content that movie directors and writers bring upon us, right? Because you see a pattern sometimes where it's like, okay, I think these guys are getting a little lazy, guys or girls. They're getting lazy when it comes to, let me this story, let's do this story, or let's do that story. I always enjoy seeing something new and unique because I feel like we've seen everything, right? When it comes to action, horror, drama, rom-com, you name it, I feel like we've already seen that story and we've heard it before. The worst thing, y'all, the worst thing that I cannot stand to do if I'm watching a film and immediately I already know how the ending's going to be. Come on. Who doesn't think ahead in a film? I know you guys do. We all do it. So recently, I checked out a film called, let me see if I can, it's called Chimp Crazy. It's actually a docu-series. It's on Max, HBO, formerly known as HBO Max, but now called Max. It focuses on chimpanzees, but other species such as I can't even pronounce some of these words. Macacuis, capuchins, lemurs, and marmosets. Okay, also suffered a languish in people's bedrooms, dens, basements, and garages. Prior to these unsuitable homes, these animals are typically kept in large bearing cages at exotic animal dealers. Now, breeding operations pull newborn animals from their mothers to sell in the pet trade. Okay, they are dressed up, leashed, and trundled out for shopping trips and family gatherings. Now, this is from the creators of Netflix Tiger King. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever checked out Tiger King, but that was one of my favorite docu series I've ever seen. It was so funny because at the time I was still living with my parents when Tiger King first came out, and it was random, right? I didn't even like plan on really checking it out. No one told me anything about it, and I'm like, well, what is this Tiger King about? I just remember watching the first, and then I'm like, oh man, this is getting kind of good. Like I could not get my eyes off of it. And I kid you not, I think I watched that whole docu-series in one night. And when I finished it, I shared it with my parents. It turned out my parents already tuned in. I'm like, wow, you guys weren't going to tell me anything? You weren't going to tell me about this? Like, this is must-see TV. And Tiger King was very popular. Joe Exotic. That film was about, again, exotic animals, people housing and breeding exotic animals out of their regular habitat. Joe Exotic was based out of Oklahoma. You had another lady, I can't remember to save, Carol Baskin, I think she was based out of Florida. Then there was another gentleman that was based out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and it just got juicy, right? It was almost, you had competition between, from each breeder, because obviously they were trying to make money. They want everybody to visit their empire, their tiger zoo, in a sense. And Joe Exotic was treating the animals bad, poor conditions, and he was just a wild dude, right? Thought he can get away with saying all the wild stuff, and he's currently serving time in jail because yes, it was illegal. So from the same creators of Tiger King, this four-part project has over the past month slowly revealed the viewers a grim reality. In private homes across the United States, chimpanzees, monkeys, and other primates are being kept as pets, forced to wear diapers, children's clothing, treated as human babies. They're prevented from expressing their natural wild behaviors. As the series highlights, it's a serious problem that has been hiding in plain sight. I highly recommend, my friends, to check out uh this docu-series. Is called Chimp Crazy. Okay, Chimp Crazy. Now, I kid you not, when I was a kid, I always wanted a pet monkey or a pet chimp. I don't know why. It's just because the narrative that I've always watched on TV was like, oh, they're like humans, they're your friends, they're so cute, they'll play with you. And that's one of the most realistic animals out of all of them, right? You talking about they do very human like things, dress themselves, brush their teeth, do humorous stuff. And that's what you think all monkeys are, but that's not the case. That's not the case. And so watching that, I'm like, see, yep, that, because when they go ham, they go ham. Every animal, in my opinion, will have that snap, that breaking point, right? Kind of a reason why I'm more of an advocate for smaller dogs, because I'm like, okay, if a small dog want to act crazy, I can take a small dog. But when you get a big old, German Shepherd, Kita, you name it, pit bull. I mean, as playful, as well trained as they can be, they're always going to have a breaking point. You're never going to see it coming. Okay. And I love dogs to death. I think they're the man's best friend. That's very true. I love my dog. I want to get another one right now, but just because of my schedule, my wife and I were like, okay, we got to take it easy, but we are planning on getting a second one very, hopefully very soon. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But there's a lot of people that have exotic pets, reptiles, I don't know, goats, uh, pigs, bunnies, you name it. They have. It's not the whole norm of a cat and dog anymore. It's I want a giraffe, I want a emu, I want a chicken, I want a monkey, I want a tiger. Like that's what we have going on in our world. So it's a very interesting docu series. Again, Chimp Crazy on Max. So if you happen to have Max, please do me a favor, check this out. Let me know what you think. Give me your take on it. Leave us a comment or DM us at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, or leave a comment below if you happen to be watching this episode right now. So that right there, my friends, that's our movie review. Again, Chimp Crazy. So be sure to check that out. Moving on, let's get a little bit into politics. So recently, a very well-known GOP star uh openly came out endorsing current Vice President Kamala Harris. Last episode I've mentioned Liz Cheney, former congresswoman out of Wyoming, had endorsed her because she has been somewhat of a I don't know if you can say, she's always been an ongoing anti-Trump supporter. She's always been very critical of the former president, and the Republican Party has kind of shunned away from people like her and other anti-Trumpers, because let's go back to reality, my friends. The Republican Party is no longer the Republican Party that we've known it to be. It's now MAGA, Make America Great Again. That is the MAGA movement. Is starting to be the new growing Republican Party. More MAGA members are starting to overcome leadership in the Republican Party, and the originals or the traditional Republicans, they're slowly but surely either becoming more moderate or even independent, and a lot of them are Team Kamala Harris. We've gone down the timeline on this show on how many conservative supporters Kamala Harris and the Harris Walsh campaign has. Over 200 staffers from the Bush Cheney administration, from the McCain administration, from the Romney administration, even from the Trump administration. Go figure. Why? Because they truly care about democracy and not about the party. All right. Former lieutenant governor out of Georgia endorses Kamala Harris. Former Congresswoman Adam Kinzinger endorsing Kamala Harris. Former multiple staffers from the Trump administration supporting Kamala Harris. The list goes on and on and on. We've already mentioned about Liz Cheney, and guess who's that newcomer that has endorsed Kamala now? Former Vice President Dick Cheney. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Who would have saw that coming? Who would have saw that coming? The reason, in my opinion, well, Dick Cheney is one of the most conservative individuals in our American history. All right, it doesn't get more conservative than Dick Cheney, in my opinion. During his administration, he wasn't a fan favorite from people on the left. They couldn't stand Dick Cheney. They couldn't stand the Bush Cheney administration. But Cheney has realized democracy is way more important than just the party. All right. So yes, it's true. He has publicly endorsed current Vice President Kamala Harris for President of the United States. And I want to, if I can pull up a let me see here. Okay, so this is an article reported by Politico. It says here, obviously titled Dick Cheney supports Harris, says Trump can never be trusted with power again. Like a lot of people, they gave Trump a chance when he first was elected into office. Like I didn't vote for him, but at the end of the day, I said, hey, look, I respect their position. He's the fair winner out of this fight. Okay, let's see what he got. And then you're like, oh hell no. No. So it says here, former Republican representative Liz Cheney made it clear her war against former President Donald Trump won't be limited to her endorsement of Kamala Harris and will include campaigning in the battleground states this fall. Now, in an interview recently at the Texas Tribune Festival in Austin, Texas, Cheney also said her father, former Vice President Dick Cheney, would be voting for Harris. The audience erupted in cheers, and she mentioned her father's vote. Later, the former Republican Vice President, one of the two living to say they wouldn't back Trump, himself issued a statement confirming his daughter's remarks, saying Trump can never be trusted with power again. Is quoted as, citizens, we each have a duty to put our country above partisanship, to defend our Constitution. That is why I will be casting my vote for Vice President Harris. Trump, in a post on Truth Social, it's funny how let me not go over. It says here in a post on Trump Social, was dismissive of the former vice president's endorsement of Harris. He said Dick Cheney is an irrelevant rhino, he wrote, using the acronym for Republican in name only. Like I mentioned before, Dick Cheney is no Democrat. Nowhere near a Democrat. Hell, no one near an independent. He bleeds that red, okay? Red, that red, white, and blue. The Harris campaign welcomed Dick Cheney and anyone else in the GOP who wants to join. What is said in a statement are hundreds of other Republicans who support her. Now, does this mean with all the GOP supporters that she's been having, will she have any GOP members in her administration? I think that would be interesting. And I'm all for it, because in order to bring people together to unite America, you can't always just let me have all Democrats on my administration. You can't do that, because at the end of the day, what's going to occur in your administration? You have to pass a bill that Congress and Senate on both sides of the aisle have to agree on. So why not mix it up a little bit? That's why I think I think it's a good look. The fact that potentially Trump could have Tulsi Gabbard and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in his administration. Now, both of them are former Democrats. They're now independents. I will say Tulsi Gabbard is very, in my opinion, far right. Um, Even though she's an independent, it wouldn't surprise me if she eventually just fully joins the Republican Party. I think because of marketing wise and for voters, it's more respected having her as an independent that says I'm an independent. I'm backing President Donald Trump. Likewise, RFK. Now, RFK, I think is just looking for a job. To be honest, um, I really think he just wants to get his foot in the White House. That's what he's trying to do. Does he support Donald Trump on all his policies? No, not at all. But it's interesting that he's endorsing Trump. To me, I think that's a disservice for the voters, especially his supporters that were backing him, even though he didn't have a chance in hell to win. RFK maybe had access on 11 ballots this upcoming election. He had, when it was the two old guys against each other, he was very high because he was that third option that people said, "Oh, look, I'm gonna go third party." He had a stronger chance, but once Joe Biden dropped out, RFK's numbers and credibility and his political stock value went straight down. Um, I say all that to say, with Trump having those two vocal supporters, um, it could be a disadvantage for the Harris and Walz campaign. But with all these GOP members backing them, I think it will be very interesting. I think it's interesting for Waltz, it might I say, because there was a viral photo that went on social media of Haltz Harris and Waltz put together, of Walt's family out in Nebraska. That all wore Waltz for Trump shirts, because it was like 8 or 9 of them that were hugely supporting Donald Trump. And look, Matt, Tim Waltz is, you know, he's a Midwestern guy. He's a proud gun owner. He is he could really gravitate to the relatable Republicans out here. Very true. Born Nebraska, Minnesota governor. I mean, what is there not to like about him? Very relatable individual. Uh, as I continue to read this article, it says here that campaign chair Jen O'Malley Dillon said the vice president is proud to have the support of Vice President Cheney and deeply respects his courage to put country over party. Uh, what I love seeing candidates, officials using the term people over party, like my good friend, shout out to uh, uh, um, Calvin Cash Green. He's a candidate currently running for a city council out in the city of Virginia Beach. That is his campaign slogan: "People over politics." Very well respected. Now, it's a very smart strategy, in my opinion. He has received support of people on both sides. I think that's where politics is going towards in the future, is people over politics, not party over the people. Okay? People over politics, not party affiliate over the people. Um in further remarks, it says here Liz Cheney also said that she would endorse Representative Colleen Aldred, a Democrat out of Texas, in his Senate race against Senator Ted Cruz. Again, Ted Cruz was a guy who was getting dogged by President Trump, and all of a sudden now he's all Team Trump all day, every day. I don't understand. Marco Rubio, same situation. even Nikki Haley, former governor out of South Carolina, and she was in the Trump administration. She had spoken so vicious about Trump during the Republican primaries, and she really had a stronger chance of. She came very close. I think she could have stayed in, possibly give a run for Trump's money, or she could have moved into the independent side, and because she still had a lot of votes, she had a lot of funds. But when she spoke at the most recent at the RNC, she spoke in her support of Trump, which I thought that was truly like, why, Nikki? Why? Didn't make any sense. Actually, I'm gonna read you guys this article reported by The Hill. The Raging Cajun, I think that's what they call him. James Carville, longtime Democratic strategist and a podcast host. Carville said, blasts Nikki Haley of being spineless for supporting Trump. Says here that the Democratic strategist on Sunday recently blasted the GOP presidential candidate, former GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley as spineless for supporting Trump's bid for re-election. He pointed to Haley's recent morning interview she had on CBS News Face the Nation, where she laid out a strong case for supporting Taiwan, but stood by her endorsement of the former president, despite the past indications that he might not defend Taiwan if necessary. See, math's not mathing, right? So it says here that and I quote, I saw Nikki Haley on another network this morning. Oh my God. And she was talking about how much she loved Taiwan and pointing out that Trump said, well, I don't care about Taiwan. It's 6,500 miles away. Let China do what it wants. Then Carville, paraphrasing Trump's past comments he made on a Sunday interview on MSNBC's Inside with Jen Psaki. I'm sorry, Carville had said that. And then also Carville said, and then she started talking about Afghanistan. Does that woman have any courage at all? Because if she does, it's not particularly evident to anybody. I don't care. Excuse me. I don't know if she's more spineless or gutless, but one of the two certainly applied to her. Now, James Carville does not hold his tongue. That's why I'm a fan of him, because he's very upfront. He's very real, and he just doesn't give a crap. He was very critical of the Democratic Party, his own party, when they were supporting Joe Biden and not having a proper primary. Because he's like, look, if you want to try and get this win, please do not and have him as your candidate. And like everybody was. It says here that Trump, in a Bloomberg interview this past summer, indicated that he thought Taiwan should pay the U.S. for protection, saying they're immensely wealthy and that he doesn't think we're any different from an insurance policy. Now, Trump said Taiwan is 9,500 miles away. It's 68 miles away from China. Haley was asked about Trump's Taiwan comments in the interview and said she agreed with him that the U.S. does not need to send troops to Taiwan, but advocate for helping the countries economically, militarily, and diplomatically as much as possible. So, as I mentioned, Carville is extremely critical of Haley in a larger conversation about the significance of Vice President Harris receiving endorsements from, as I mentioned, both Cheneys, former Vice President Dick Cheney and former Congresswoman Liz Cheney, and who also previously served as the third highest ranking House Republican before she was ousted for speaking out against Trump in the 2020 elections lies. Guys, I don't know how many times I have to tell you how important this election is. I'm not trying to sway you by any means. You're probably saying, Arrington, well, you're doing a hell of a good job of swaying us who you choose. Look, me personally, I've shared my opinion, but I'm just giving you the facts. I'm giving you upfront, reality-based stuff. Common sense. Let's use common sense in a case like this. When have you ever seen these many GOP members endorse a Democratic candidate. When? When was the last time you saw this, guys? I'll wait. TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. I still don't got nothing. Okay. So in that case, that should tell you something right there for all you undecided voters, for all you anti-Trump fans that are Republicans. I'm telling you, this guy is only about himself. He is only about himself. Look, I'm gonna give it to you straight. I am no Democrat, nowhere near a Democrat, right? I'm just telling you, look, use common sense, man. When it comes to this individual is all about himself. I could care less on he could be a Democrat. I would be saying the exact same thing. All right. Do your part in this upcoming election. Okay. Do your part in this upcoming election and just do your research. I'm having so many conversations with individuals who are just fed up with the whole two-party BS. Hey, I am too. I am too. I don't like the two-party system. I truly think that they should have debates with all leading candidates from every party. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, the Libertarian Party, third party candidates, the Green Party, you name it. They need to have Cornel West on that stage. They need to have Jill Stein on that stage. They need to have Chase Oliver on that stage. They need to have Kamala Harris on that stage. They need to have Donald Trump on that stage. You have got to give the people their true options because at the end of the day, people are like, look, I'm a fan of this person, but my vote is not going to even make it near the votes. It's a wasted vote. It's a wasted vote. I'm waiting in line for hours to cast my vote, and I'm just like, come on now. I I have conversation with my family, with my cousins, about because they're not fans of Kamala. They're sure as hell not fans of Trump, but they always say, well, they're both pretty much the same. That's why I gotta break down the facts. You gotta break down the facts because they are totally different individuals. Totally different individuals. I'll actually play a video a little later on that an actor, oh my gosh. Actor what was he on? Oh my goodness. New Orleans native Wendell Pierce. I'm gonna play a soundbite for you after this commercial break. So look, do me a favor, my friends, so don't go anywhere. We have some more great stuff here on the Arrington Gavin show. Yeah, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
What's going on, my friends? As I mentioned before, we went to a commercial break. I wanted to play a soundbite from actor, philanthropist, just all around great guy, Wendell Pierce. This video is on uh just the fact that black men not supporting Harris. So this is going to give you his side of why they should and why it's an issue. So hold tight as I pull up this soundbite for you.
And as a black man, why should we fear the rise of a black woman? Any black man that has an issue with a black woman rising, then they have to look at their own inadequacy. What would make you so fearful of someone who was so beloved of you, who was so beloving to you, like your mother and your grandmother and your aunts and your sisters, that you cannot be proud and embolden yourself when you see someone from your community rise up? And I say to those black men who have an issue politically, you have every right to say, what have you done for me? And as a black man, why should
Anybody disagree with that? Anybody disagree with that? You know what? I think that was perfectly said, because if you heard, he's like, you have the absolute right to be like, what have you done for me lately? That's what we are supposed to do in general. That we should never keep their foot off the fire. As a voter, we always need to keep our elected officials up to speed and just, accountable on the promises they made in order to receive that vote from us. Because we're on, this is 2024, about to be 2025. How many times have we heard, I'm here for you in this category, I'm here for you in that category? How many times are we going to listen to it and hear it? And how many times are we going to say, well, in these 4 years, or hell, even in these 8 years, you haven't done anything for me? So of course, it's going to be hard. Of course, we're going to be asking the questions and having our doubts. But once again, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Stuff don't come easy, y'all. Stuff don't come easy. And stuff is not going to be done overnight. It's just not. So we got to keep our elected officials accountable 110% all day, every day. We got to wear their asses out. You hear me? We got to wear them out. Want to move on. Staying in politics. Because I think this really has to be spoken about. Mayor Eric Adams, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, it ain't looking too good for your brother right now. So I don't know if you heard, but recently, the FBI raided the homes of top cabinet members from under Eric Adams administration, NYPD, including NYPD police commissioner. So it says here, I'm reading this off of the local news outlet ABC7 out of New York. It says here that federal investigation into City Hall NYPD ramps up as more phones seized, sources say. It says here that federal authorities on Friday recently ramped up their investigation into possible corruption in New York City government, interviewing police officials at a building next to the police headquarters and seizing additional phones. Sources familiar with the matter told ABC News. The escalation comes one day after officials confirmed the investigation has already reached into the inner circle of New York Mayor Eric Adams, a Democrat, by the way, a Democrat. Because guess what? Corruption happens on both sides, y'all. Don't think it's just on one side of the aisle. No, this stuff happens on both sides. Says here, federal prosecutors in Manhattan have declined to disclose details about what they are investigating, but sources, one, focus involves city contracts, and second, involves the enforcement of regulations governing bars and clubs. Adams recently insists he was aware of no misdoings by anyone in his administration and pledged cooperation with the ongoing investigation. Now, as chief counsel said, Adams himself is not believed to be a target. No charges have been filed. Now, this week, says here, federal agents searched a recent week, the federal agents searched the homes of Deputy Mayor Phil Banks, Deputy Mayor Sheena Wright, and schools chancellors David Banks. Now, School Chancellor Banks released a statement saying yesterday, as the first day of school for the 1.1 million student and staff of New York City Public Schools, and I remain focused on ensuring they have safe, academically rigorous, and joyful school year. I am confirming that I am cooperating with federal inquiries at this time, I cannot comment any further on this matter. Another Banks brother, Terrence Banks, who runs a consulting firm, may have clients that do business with the city. He is also being eyed by the federal investigators, although his attorney said he was assured his client was not a target of this investigation. Now, federal authorities also seized phones belonging to Police Commissioner Edward Cabin and other NYPD officials. Sources said investigators sought the phones of additional police officials, including a precinct commanders in Manhattan. Cabin's family has connections to nightlife. Richard Cabin, a former NYPD lieutenant, owned a now shuttered Bronx restaurant. Cabin's twin brother, James Cabin, a former NYPD sergeant, owned a Bronx apartment building that once had a bar on the first floor named Twins. This is I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, my friends, but federal officials have previously executed search warrants on the homes of Brianna Suggs, the mayor's top campaign fundraiser, Rana Abasova, the mayor's international affairs aide, and then Winnie Greco, a special advisor to the mayor and director of Asian affairs. Now, this is how I break it. This is how I see it. When you have a long list of people that are being investigated, it doesn't look too good for you, Mr. Mayor, because like former President Donald Trump, all his people in his inner circle are either serving jail time, fines, house arrests, losing their attorney license, Rudy Giuliani. The list goes on and on. When too many people are getting in trouble or stuff is looking suspicious with people surrounding your inner circle, it's always going to come down to one person. Now, I'm not making it's still an ongoing investigation. I'm just saying it's not looking too good. I'm also saying that corruption exists, greed exists, money over moral does exist. And this is a key example on why people choose the couch when it comes to voting. This is why voting numbers are low in certain communities. All right. This is what irritates me with politics in general. All right. This is why I'm an independent, because it's BS happening on all sides of the aisle. So this is an ongoing investigation. We will read more open and keep y'all up to speed here on the Arrington Gavin Show with any more additional stories occurring with that. Lastly, because I'm looking at my time. Lastly, I want to bring up this soundbite that Leland Vittert, host of On Balance on News Nation. You can tune in weeknights on News Nation. Leland speaks about the recent addition to the governor's race in the state of Virginia. Current Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears filing her paperwork to run for governor, and he brings up an interesting conversation, right? Let me see here. Let me play that for you, and then I'll give you my take on this.
Never had a black woman governor, but Winsome Earl Sears isn't a Democrat. So now the fact that she's a black woman doesn't seem to matter. Diversity, I guess, is no longer our strength. I don't know about you, Colby. I was shocked she wasn't a guest on MSNBC this morning for her rollout.
Sometimes people tell you more about themselves by what they don't say. And in this instance, I think the media sort of reveals their inherent bias by just virtually ignoring this significant story. Now, caveats, she announced yesterday she's a gubernatorial candidate. But again, as you say, Virginia is on the southern part of the Mason-Dixon line. This is a big story, and I look, and it's been mentioned exactly twice on cable news in the last 24 hours. Very often, mainstream media uses identity as a cudgel to promote their own sort of allies, whereas when there's someone with political difference, it doesn't count. So it's clearly a double standard, and one that I think you're wise to bring up and call out.
So very interesting, right? Very interesting. But here's how I'll respond to Mr. Vitter. Fox News didn't mention anything about Winsome Sears filing for the governor's race. Newsmax hasn't. Salem News Channel hasn't. Any conservative outlet, to my knowledge, did not mention any of this when she first made the announcement. Yeah, you saw it on different publications, on newspapers. But look, Leland, it's not that big of a story. She's already a lieutenant governor. That was very well known and publicized at that time. Her running for governor is now it's interesting. It is a big deal. Don't get me wrong, because she is a black woman running for governor, and yes, she is a Republican. She is a Republican. So you would say, okay, isn't this pretty interesting? The fact that, hey, look, you have a black woman running at a high position, making history, and these outlets are not sharing, especially MSNBC or this. Excuse me, they're not mentioning it. Look, MSNBC is very left leaning. CNN are going to give you really what's okay. They're going to give you what is a great story. What's the word I'm looking for? This is not a big enough story to talk about right now, because why? This will happen in the 2025 election. We're talking about the 2024 presidential race and elections happening right now. So once November 5th happens, yes, they're going to start bringing up. They're most likely going to start bringing it up starting beginning of next year, or even right after November 5th. But Winsome Sears, yes, she is a woman of color. Yes, she serves on as a lieutenant governor. She made history as the first woman and the first woman of color to hold that position, especially the first Republican. All right. I share my 2 cents on the race. It will be an interesting one. It will be very difficult. I think she is a great contender for the Republican Party, especially for those who are trying to reel in the black vote on more to lean more right, because that's something that they're always going to be fighting for, is more diversity within the Republican Party, because they lack that diversity, in my opinion. There's not a lot of key figures of color. I mean, you have Byron Donaldson, who's a congressman out of Florida. You have Wesley Hunt. There's another gentleman, I'm forgetting his name, out of I think he's out of either Michigan or Florida. I'm forgetting his name to save my life, but that is a big story. But I just think, hey, look, News Nation, they're known for unbiased. That's their narrative. So they're going to be giving you their unbiased agenda and saying, okay, why isn't that other? Sometimes it gets old where they always bring in, MSNBC did not do this. MSNBC did not. Okay, dude, why are you trying to always go? Just do the news. That's what you're supposed to be, promoting, is just straightforward the news, right? Because look, Leland came from well, he's always been in mainstream media, but he was initially with Fox News before he was with News Nation, and he was in Fox News for a long time. All right. To be honest, I think he still very much has that style, that Fox News style that he brings to News Nation. I enjoy the show. I watch News Nation a lot. I have nothing personally. I don't know him personally to say I have anything against Leland Vitter, but I just think to bring this up, it's no one cares. Okay, Jesus. All right. Look, I have having about 6 minutes left. I want to give you a quick recap on week 1 of the NFL. So before I do that, let's get into some college sports in general. So I don't know if you heard about this huge upset that just happened recently. Notre Dame paid around 1.8, almost $2 million to $1.4 million to NIU, the Huskers, to play them. Really, they paid them to beat them. So it's a familiar thing that occurs in college football in the first week of college football season. Big schools play these small schools that don't have a chance in hell to win, so they pay them millions of dollars so they can get their tails whipped. I'm talking by huge numbers, and it's a regular thing. I don't like it because to me it's like It's just fake. It's not accurate. Don't have that like, yeah, we just got our first win. That's what I'm talking about, fellas. All this is a confidence booster for their squad. But to me, do it as a scrimmage. Don't consider it as a regular season win. It's not accurate. But anyway, they paid NIU $1.4 million, and guess what? NIU beat Notre Dame 16-14. That's right, 16-14. And I want you to hear the passion of the head coach of NIU. Let me see if I have some time to get that going. Let's see here.
Top 5 opponent. This is NIU's first win against a top 10 opponent ever. And for people who need context, you wore this jersey. It's deep for you. Why?
Yeah, I'm so proud of our kids, the coaches, just everybody. They believed. They believed. And we came there and got it done.
You told your guys this week that you didn't need anyone to be a superhero or superhuman. They just needed to be their best. What kind of performances did you see out there?
They listened to what I said. I told them all week, we don't need luck. We just got to be our best. And they was their best today. And we was able to get it done.
Where's this emotion coming from for you?
You know, all these guys that have been with our program, been through the ups and downs, and they continue to fight. Yeah. You know, it's like they my kids. I'm happy for the adversity to push through. But, you know, no matter the situation, I just couldn't be more proud.
And y'all, I would play that, but for the sake of time, I just, you know, you can hear the emotions out of head coach Thomas Hammock, who actually played running back, and is a graduate from NIU, Northern Illinois. And, you know, Notre Dame was ranked 5th. You hear me? Ranked 5th. NIU is not even ranked. So they left with the dub and the cash. That's what I'm talking about. That is an underdog story. That is a way to start your season. So NIU 2-0. Notre Dame is 1-1. But I just think that is a very, very awesome story. Look, guys, I'm not going to have time to talk about the recap of week 1 in the NFL, but I will start that for the next show. In the beginning of the show, I will share my thoughts on week 1. A huge turn of events had occurred. Just to kind of give you a preview of that before we end this show. Here's just some of the interesting stories that happened in week 1 of the NFL. Okay, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott signs the largest contract for a quarterback in NFL history, becomes the highest paid player in NFL history. 4 years, $240 million. Tyreek Hill detained by police outside the stadium on his way to the game. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Kendrick Lamar announces that he will be the halftime performer at the upcoming Super Bowl this season, as well as Russell Wilson. He thought he's going to debut in new colors as he's the new quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was hurt. So Justin Fields ended up playing for him. So much stuff had occurred in week 1. I will share more about that on the next show, my friends. But we're running out of time. So be sure to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on YouTube and Rumble, and listen to our program on our radio affiliate WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. as well as WDJYFM.com. Until next time, my friends, y'all have a blessed one.